So let's get right into it. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on something that a lot of the world's most accomplished people have in common. And it's not what you think. It's not about money or who they know. It's something much simpler, something anyone can do. We're talking about the morning habits that can seriously unlock incredible success. You ever just wonder what their secret is? I mean, if you really look at the daily routines of top performers, from CEOs to creatives, you start to see this amazing pattern. It's this quiet, consistent discipline that gives them a huge head start before most of us have even thought about coffee. And that's really it. Their secret weapon is how they start the day. But it's not just about getting up at the crack of dawn. It's about what they do with that quiet, uninterrupted time. They have these very specific habits that basically set the tone for a winning day, which then turns into a winning life. Okay, so what's so magical about the morning anyway? Why is this considered a peak performance zone? Well, it turns out the environment in those early hours gives you an advantage that's pretty much impossible to find later in the day. I mean, think about it. The world is still asleep. Your inbox isn't exploding, your phone isn't ringing off the hook, and social media hasn't started yelling at you yet. It's this calm, quiet space where your mind is just naturally sharper and more focused. These are literally the perfect conditions for deep work, clear thinking, and just getting a ton of stuff done.
So, how do you actually structure this time? Well, the good news is we don't have to reinvent the wheel here. A couple of massive best-selling books have already laid out some killer frameworks. Let's take a look at how Elrod's The Miracle Morning and Robin Sharma's The 5 a.m. Club to see how they do it.
Now, on the surface, they look a little different, but they're really built on the same core idea. Elrod's S.A.V.E.R.S method is this awesome 6-step routine that covers all the bases of personal growth. Sharma's 5 a.m. Club, on the other hand, packs everything into an intense 1-hour power hour that's split into 3 parts. Both are designed to help you win your morning so you can win your day. And if you're kind of doubting the power of this stuff, just listen to the story. How Elrod, the author of The Miracle Morning, was in a truly horrific car accident. We're talking a head-on collision, 11 broken bones. Doctors told him he might never walk again. But through his morning routine, he didn't just walk, he ran an 84-kilometer ultramarathon. That is the kind of mind-blowing power we are talking about. All right, so let's break down S.A.V.E.R.S. First step, S, is for silence, meditation, deep breaths, just calming your mind. Then A for affirmations, programming your brain for success. V is for visualization. You literally see yourself achieving your goals. E is for exercise, to get that blood and oxygen pumping to your brain. R is for reading, because your mind is sharp and ready to learn. And finally, S is for scribing, just writing down your thoughts and tracking your progress. Now, Robin Sharma's 20-20-20 formula is just as powerful and super simple to remember. The first 20 minutes are all about moving, intense exercise to wake you up. The next 20 are for reflection, meditation, planning, journaling. And the final 20 minutes are for growth, reading a book, studying, picking up a new skill. 1 hour, 3 blocks, and you're set for the day. Okay, right about now, you're probably thinking, this all sounds amazing, but, and we know exactly what that but is. There's this one giant hurdle that stops most people dead in their tracks, and it's probably the most relatable struggle there is. Exactly. Waking up early feels impossible for so many of us, right? Trying to make this huge, sudden change overnight usually just leads to failure and feeling bad about it. So what's the secret? How do you build this habit without it feeling like total torture? Well, the answer comes from this brilliant Japanese philosophy. Forget about trying to change everything at once. The key is something called the Kaizen method. It's a gentle but super effective way to make changes that actually stick. Here's the whole idea in a nutshell. Kaizen is all about small steps, tiny ones. Instead of trying to make this massive leap from what you do now to what you want to do, you make these tiny, almost unnoticeable improvements. These little wins build momentum and create habits that last because they're too small for your brain to freak out about. So here's how you actually use it. You don't start with a 1-hour routine tomorrow morning. No way. For the first month or two, just wake up 5 minutes earlier. That's it. Do some simple exercises. Once that feels automatic, then you add another 5 minutes for meditation. A few months later, add a final 5 minutes for reading. You're building this powerful 15-minute routine so slowly and painlessly that you barely even notice the effort.
So, what's the result of all this? What happens when you take this patient, step-by-step approach? Well, you get a total transformation.
built on a foundation that's so small and easy, it's almost impossible to fail.
15 minutes. That's all it takes to get started. It's not some intimidating hour-long commitment. It's less time than you probably spend scrolling on your phone before you even get out of bed. Seriously, this is something absolutely everyone can do. And here it is, your final takeaway routine. 5 minutes to wake up your body, 5 minutes to focus your mind, and 5 minutes to feed your growth. These 3 small blocks, when you do them consistently, will create this amazing ripple effect of focus and positivity that lasts your entire day.
So really, the key takeaway is this. You don't need to be a superhero. You don't need some insane amount of willpower. You just have to commit to the next 5 minutes and then the 5 after that. The journey to success isn't one giant leap. It's just a series of small, intentional steps. So the only question left is, how are you going to use your next 15 minutes to change your life?